Sorry, I've been away for the past few days, and so, of course, content has not been posting to the channel, but it looks like I picked a great day to return to covering Helldivers because we just got our first round of upcoming changes announced by the studio, and somehow they found a way. More on that in a moment. Welcome to the channel. This is LtBuzzLitebeer, and besides this new announcement, which should be a reoccurring theme from today until this game-saving patch deploys on September 17th, we've also got a new feedback poll that went by very quickly, some community-related items, and a major order we are primed and set to fail. All of that and more coming your way in just a moment. In case you haven't done so already, take just a moment to hit subscribe and ring that notifications bell to receive my future upload alerts. And here's all the latest with Helldivers. So much to dive into today. Pun not intended, but first, the world-famous 30-second Superstore reset, starting off with the Butcher heavy body armor with medkit for +2 stims and 2 seconds more effect duration, of course the Butcher helmet, the CE67 Titan helmet, and the Titan hybrid light-medium body armor with engineering kit for reduced recoil and +2 throwables, such as grenades and throwing knives. And as always, expect to spend super creds to make these purchases happen. Briefly over to the Galactic War Table, and things are looking bleak. And first off, look in the upper left-hand corner of the screen at just how few divers are on right now. That says 7,500, which is terrible. I guess many players are either cutting down some Tyranids in Space Marine 2, waiting for September 17th's Helldivers 2 patch, or a combination of both. And by the way, drop me a comment and let me know which you are. But back to the current major order, and we have a shade under 2 days to go, and we have only defended 2 of the required 6 bot planets. And after I briefly looked this morning, we only have 2 more that are currently in defense campaigns. So we would have to finish up both of those planets and then move over to 2 more planets, liberate those, and then defend them, all in 44 or so hours. And I guess you can see where I'm going with this. Not good is an understatement. The Helldivers Companion app, link in the video description, shows us much the same. Shelt and Chalice are both there in defense campaigns. One we are winning, the other we are losing, and then after that, it's a crapshoot. So, yeah. If you are on today and you want to knock out some easy medals, try hitting up the daily or personal order to kill 10 enemies with the EAT or expendable anti-tank rockets. And as always, these 10 kills are shared across the squad. Once completed, net your 15 medals and start saving up for the next war bond? ? And by the way, no dates on that one either. Without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, we just got some breaking news from Arrowhead just a few minutes ago concerning the patch notes for next week's update. And I know the studio is kind of leaning into this, hey, look at us, check out all these buffs we're about to give you that are about to go into the live game, but where has this been for the past 6 months? Well, the balancing team was just running absolutely f***ing rogue on many of those previous patches. Anyways, I'm going to try and stay calm today, just breathe. Let's look on the bright side of things, starting off with this announcement. A buff a day keeps the bugs away. Excited to share more details about upcoming updates, which will include significant changes aimed at improving your experience in Helldivers 2. From now on, every day, listen to this again, every day we will shed more and more light on the September 17th update. Alrighty, yeah. Side notes, I'm going to break script here, and this is just stuck in my mind, so I need to get it out. I just need to be honest with my viewers. But this, at least to me, feels like the completely wrong angle. It's like the wrong tone to take with the community. And I'm speaking about this tease a day build up to next week. I mean, if we're talking about a scenario where this was to be the first balanced patch Helldivers 2 had ever seen, fine. If we're talking the game hasn't even launched yet and Arrowhead's trying to build up hype to launch day, again, that's understood. But you don't take this tone after the community has been slapped around and slapped around again after countless changes to the game they were enjoying before the studio made all those changes. Know what I mean? It feels like, again, Arrowhead is failing to read the room, so to speak, and they're taking this comical tone with drip beads of information when it should be, hey, Helldivers, here's a box of expensive chocolates, here's 12 dozen roses. We are sorry. We f***ed up the game. It will not happen again. And here is everything you will be seeing hit the game next week, and we hope to earn back your trust. And by the way, here's some extra stuff we are holding back on, and then the studio could tease and slowly reveal those items. Anyways, it just felt like the completely wrong approach to the community. It was just sticking in my mind like a thorn. Mini rant over, tangent done. Let's get back to it. And yeah, that's probably a good question for Chad. Am I on the right track there, or was I just completely off base again? Anyways, they continue on. We've heard you loud and clear, and flamethrower damage is increased by 33%, which, by the way, is significant. But listen to this next part, though. Flamer mechanics will be reverted. Let me say that again in case you weren't paying attention. Flamer mechanics will be reverted to the state before the Escalation of Freedom update, and flame-based weapons can now damage heavier enemies like Chargers, Bile Titans, Impalers, and Hulks, and they finish up with #BuffDivers. Oh, okay, interesting. But wait, there's more, because they also include a video. So let's take a look at that along with audio, and then more feedback from me on the flip side.
My name is Johan Pilestedt.
And I'm DrLukeTheDuke Boy.
Today we're diving into the patch notes of Helldivers 2. We've done some major adjustment to all the flame weapons.
Yeah, we just went back.
I thought we couldn't revert it.
Life finds a way. There was some stuff to go through, but it was the right thing to do.
And the flame weapons has also gotten an armor penetration increase.
Yeah. Do you want to flame a charger? Go ahead.
This means that I can have flame offs with the Hulks.
Yeah, it does.
You could say that it would be a cooking showdown.
So they reverted the flame effects. And remember, back in the past, they said they could not revert those changes. That was right when Escalation came out, because it would affect a ton of other items that had also been adjusted for Escalation of Freedom. But course reversed, and it all sounds good. I want to see it in the game and test it out for myself, but it sounds like they are adding back in the initial flamethrower mechanics, where the fire would actually pass through enemy armor and cook the exposed areas behind. Plus, it sounds like they're adding on an additional 33% buff to fire, or maybe they are theorizing that the changes to fire and enemy armor pen will result in a perceived 33% buff to fire damage. I mean, who knows? But if it's both combined, it looks like fire's back on the menu, divers. Also, don't sleep on that added feature. It can now damage heavier enemies like Bile Titans, like Impalers, and Hulks. I don't know if I would choose to bring in a flamethrower versus the bots. I mean, personal preference there. But apparently, if you find yourself versus the automatons and have a flame weapon, you will now stand a fighting chance. Let me know what you think of all these changes in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Do you think flame weapons are something you will equip from now on? Switching gears, and by a show of hands, just as long as you're not driving right now, how many of you missed yesterday's community feedback poll in the Helldivers Discord and subreddit? I'm guessing a lot of you. But that doesn't mean they didn't get a lot of submissions, because there was a massive list of responses, netting the community managers over 5,000 responses in, get this, less than an hour. Who says people don't care about Helldivers 2? VG247 ran with this headline to commemorate that poll. Following Arrowhead's update announcement, PlayStation asked Helldivers 2 players how they feel about the game. Q, quote, over 5,000 responses in less than an hour. Plus, some folks arguing that the survey didn't let them be as negative as they'd have liked. Now, this article continues on with more information. It says, earlier today, September 9th, a survey was shared by Arrowhead to both Helldivers 2's Discord server and subreddit. It's not a huge thing, just a quick little questionnaire, which first asks you to rate your in-game experience over the past week on a scale of 1 to 5. More on that in a moment. Then write what you are and aren't currently enjoying about the game. Simple. Quote, some information. This survey is conducted by the PlayStation research team, Arrowhead community manager Baskinator wrote. Keep that in mind out there, folks. This was conducted apparently by PlayStation, not by Arrowhead. Baskinator finishes up with, "We will pull this link down when the survey has gathered enough responses. We hope to do these more often moving forward." Now, there's a final little bit here that VG247 leans into. They say, "Some of these folks have criticized the survey's first question, the one with the scale, suggesting it should have phrased better since its 5 options, excellent, very good, good, average, and not good, do arguably skew a bit towards the positive. That said, obviously the second part gives you a chance to spell out any and all of the stuff you're not a fan of in as much detail as you like." Just being upfront and honest, I did not participate in this feedback survey, as I try to let my videos kind of do the talking for me, if you know what I mean. But I can see how some users would be a bit dismayed at the 5 options on tap and how they lean towards one direction. Although it does sound like you could still really let the studio and PlayStation know your opinions in that response section. Also, I don't think you actually needed this feedback poll at all. Not trying to be negative again, just thinking logically here, but the Steam charts and player counts and user ratings should tell you all you need to know about how players are currently feeling about the game. Red negative review bars and sub 10,000 player counts on Steam are enough of an indication, right? Or am I just not thinking correctly? Anyways, let's change the tone up here. Let's make it positive. Let's pump some life back into this video with a bit of humor and truth from, of all places, Reddit. And this post has amassed over 5,000 upvotes, and I love it. Yes, I would die for the option to kill the driver and a strider and then be able to hop in there and pilot it myself. If Arrowhead could actually make this happen, we are talking huge, massive, big fat W. And to finish it off for today, we are back with your top 3 comments from my last Helldivers video. And if you want to see your comment appear in my next video, you first need to drop me a comment on this video, and who knows, you and your comment just might be showcased next time. You never know unless you try, so yeah, leave me a comment and just let it fly. Anyways, coming to us in the number 1 spot is Kunashi009, who says, "Heard you loud and clear. Yeah, heard that one before." And I know what they're speaking about. They're speaking about Arrowhead, claiming that they are taking community feedback into account. They hear us, they're going to do better, and then another round of nerfs comes with the next patch. So yeah, I think a lot of players out there, me included, are very skeptical of anything that Arrowhead says until we are proven otherwise. And again, fingers crossed. I love this game. I love playing Helldivers. I just want to see it kind of return to that game that we had pre-patch 1. If they can do that, we're talking game changer. All right, number 2 comment for this video comes to us from Mr. Pangs, and they've got kind of a lengthy one here. It says, "I remember when they removed the Hellpod steering ability and made it so that stratagems bounce off of terrain because they, quote, didn't want people or turrets landing on top of rocks. Even though bots have super rockets and bugs have hunters that can jump 20 meters. These are the BS changes they need to revert and not gloss over like they never implemented them." I hear you on that Hellpod steering. I remember when they used to like angle all over the place. They were like sports cars on rails, and then all of a sudden we couldn't steer them at all, and then there was explanations, and yeah, I remember when we couldn't land on the rocks, etc., etc. Yeah, that's just one of a million things we need reverted, right? Thank you for the comment, by the way. And number 3 comment comes to us from Vance the First 1197, who says, "Autocannon is the most versatile and powerful weapon in the game. I completely agree with you there, and they are going to buff it after never nerfing it. Obviously, this is the dev fave." And I think we've heard that before, right? I think it was from Johan. He has commented that the autocannon rifle is his favorite strat weapon in the game. It might be his favorite weapon in the game, I don't know. But yeah, kind of sus that it's never been touched, right? Very interesting point you brought to us there, Vance the First, and I appreciate the comment. And unfortunately, that's it for today. As Johan said, we should expect a small update a day from today up until launch day for the patch, which is next week. And I will hopefully, fingers crossed, have enough time in the schedule to knock out these uploads as the information becomes available. Remember to hit subscribe and ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. All my socials, including links to all my sources can be found down in the video description. Shout out to the nearly, we're almost there, 243,000 of you legends from across the globe who have already taken the plunge. You've hit subscribe and you tune in to support me and my content. We're making that last little push up to 250,000 subscribers. And if you haven't done so already, we would love to have you along for the ride. Until the next one, this is Lieutenant BuzzLitebeer signing off.